Hi, I'm Tim. This is the second in a series of lessons to help you learn how to play the guitar. In this one, I'll show you 2 new chords and some more strumming patterns. You'll also learn how to read guitar chord diagrams and play through an easy chord progression. Before we get started, you should use the tuner built into GarageBand to make sure your guitar is in tune. When you're first learning a song on guitar, it's helpful to have the chords written down to help you remember which ones to play and when to play them. When music is written down, it's called notation. There's a lot of different types of notation for guitar, but we're going to start with one that's pretty easy to understand called chord diagrams. A chord diagram is a little picture of a chord. If you hold your guitar out in front of you like this, with the headstock pointing up and the fretboard facing you, you'll be able to see how a chord diagram lines up with your guitar. The 6 vertical lines are the strings. From left to right, the low E, A, D, G, B, and high E. The horizontal lines are the frets, with the thick one at the top showing the nut. Dots are used to show where to put your fingers. To show the E chord we learned in the first lesson, there's a dot on the 2nd fret of the A string, another on the 2nd fret of the D string, and then one on the 1st fret of the G string. Numbers inside the dots tell you which finger to use to fret each string. So, for the E chord, we use our 2nd or middle finger on the A string, 3rd or ring finger on the D string, and 1st or index finger on the G string. An O above the string tells you that string is to be played open, or without fretting it. So for the E chord, we have open low E, B, and high E strings. If you see an X at the top of a string, it means that string is not to be played. Finally, the letter at the top of the chord diagram is the chord name, in this case, E. In GarageBand, you can see the chord diagrams for the chords you're playing. The chord diagrams are shown with vertical lines that divide the music into 4-beat groups, which are also called measures. Let's play a few measures of the E chord we learned in the first lesson with the same down, 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 up strumming pattern, while watching the chord diagrams and measures go by. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll be using chord diagrams a lot in these lessons, so we know which chords to play and when to play them. Now we're going to learn 2 more chords, starting with the G chord. Like the E chord, the G chord we're going to learn is also called an open chord because it contains open strings. Start by putting your 2nd finger at the 3rd fret on the low E string, like this. Remember to keep your hand cupped and press your finger straight down towards the fretboard so that your fingertip is pressing the string just behind the 3rd fret. Next, put your 1st finger at the 2nd fret on the A string. Then stretch your 3rd finger all the way down to the 3rd fret of the high E string. All the other strings are played open. Now, with your pick or your thumb, strum across all of the strings. If your chord doesn't sound quite right, there are a few things that you can try to make it sound better. First, make sure your guitar is in tune. None of these chords will sound right with an out-of-tune guitar. Now, make sure you're pressing down hard enough on the strings. If you're not pressing hard enough, the fretted notes will either buzz or not sound at all. But don't press down too hard, because this can cause the note to go out of tune and make your fingers hurt a lot faster than they would normally. Also, check to see if you're bending the strings out of place by pushing them towards the floor or the ceiling. Then make sure none of your fretting fingers are touching any of the surrounding strings, making the note sound muted like this. You can pick each of the strings to make sure it sounds good. Let's play 4 measures of the G chord with the same strumming pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. The other chord we're going to learn is called C. Put your third finger at the third fret of the A string, your second finger at the second fret of the D string, and your first finger at the first fret of the B string. For the C chord, you'll be playing all the strings except the low E string. So when you strum the chord, start your downstroke from the A string, leaving the low E out. The chord diagram for a C has an X at the top of the low E string to help you remember that the low E shouldn't be played. Make sure the C chord is sounding good, just like you did with the G chord, by playing each string and making sure each note sounds right, starting with the A string. Now let's play 4 measures of the C chord with the same strumming pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to now, we've been playing the strumming pattern from the first lesson like this. Down, 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 up, down, up. Now let's practice the G chord with a new strumming pattern. This one goes down, down, up, down, down. Let's play that together for a few measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down. Here's another strumming pattern we can use to practice the C chord. It goes down, down, up, down, up, down. Let's play that one together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down. Take some time to practice both of these strumming patterns until you feel comfortable with them. Use the cycle button next to the play button at the bottom of the window. Select the measures you want to practice, and the section will play over and over. Lots of times it's better to practice things slow at first. You can use the speed slider to slow down the tempo while you practice. Just make sure to turn the speed back to full when you move on with the lesson. And if you turn on the metronome, you'll hear a click that will help keep your time steady while you play. Once you feel comfortable with both of these strumming patterns, you can put them together like this. Down, down, up, down, down. Then, down, down, up, down. Let's play that together using a G chord. And remember, you can repeat these measures over and over using the cycle button while you practice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. A chord progression is a series of chords played in succession. Most songs are built from a series of repeating chord progressions. Some are short and simple, while other songs have long and complicated progressions. We'll start with a simple chord progression that uses the C and G chords. To start, just play the chord once at the beginning of each measure, playing each chord 2 times like this. C, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. Now let's play together. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3. Again. C, C, G. One One of the hardest parts about playing a chord progression is moving your fingers between the different chords. Try to make your movement back and forth from C to G as smooth and as quick as possible. But also try to be patient with yourself and don't get frustrated. With a little practice every day, you'll find it much easier to move between the chords. You can also play this chord progression with the new strumming patterns we've learned in this lesson. Start on C and play 2 measures like this. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Then G the same way. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Now let's play that together. You can follow along with the notation so you know where we are. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, down, up, down, 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 up, down. G, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Now you're ready to play along with the song in this lesson. I play the song with the strumming pattern down, down, up, down, down. But you can try it with any of the patterns you've learned. Just remember, it's best to start slow and work up to full tempo. You'll get better much quicker if you practice at a slower tempo where you can play all of the chords and rhythms correctly. Have fun, and when you feel like you have the chords and strumming patterns from this lesson sounding good, move on to lesson 3 to learn more.